Good day, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to it. This is the first and foremost episode, rather, of the No Face, No Case with Vic. Chukeri joined me, and let's have some fun, honestly speaking. So, I'm a bit nervous, but we'll get through this, right? So, let me tell you a story before we get into it, right? So, 110 years ago, right? If you and I had a meeting, and I told you that horses will be obsolete in the future, do you know that I would get arrested and I would be imprisoned without even having a trial? But right now, when you look at the times, hey, horses are obsolete as we speak. You only see one horse once in a while, you understand? But anyway, it's just all about the vision. That's what I'm trying to say. So, welcome to it. I hope you enjoy, and let's just, deliberate. So, today's topic I would like to touch on is therapy in the Black community. Therapy, as we know it, is when a person decides that, okay, they are going to go to another individual, speak their problems, and let their voices be heard, right? That's why we know therapy to be. But then in the Black community, it's not as supported, in most cases. Because if I tell my eldest parent, I'm saying, okay, mom or dad, I'm going to the therapy. I'd like to go to therapy, please. They would look at me like, what? And there was even memes about this on social media where they were like, okay, go and pagala yourself 4 pieces of meat because you are depressed. What therapy here? Things like that. So therapy, it basically dates back to like where we first got our first scratches as a nation. Like when you look at the history, we come from a very, very, very dark history where, our country was once a bombshell, including all the other states, America and so forth, as we see in the social medias. So the thing is, after all that atrocities and all that trauma, how have we healed from there? Have we healed even as a people? Because I see I walk around a lot, and I see a lot of frown faces, especially from my people, and I understand. I don't even judge at some points because I know where it stems from. You understand? It's that ripple effect that was caused by the things that we had to go through, not just you as an individual, because obviously some of us are millennials, we were born in the 90s, but our parents, our great-grandparents, that thing is passed down into our DNA, just like Kendrick Lamar says it in the song DNA. You know what I'm saying? So what happens, as I say, when I go walk around and I see people with frown faces, it's that people, who have faced a lot of pain, trauma, and haven't healed from it properly, tend to go into survival mode, and they shut down, in a sense, So, for example, we could be chilling as group of girls and boys, and 2 girls would decide to start a fight on some. What are you looking at? Why are you looking at me? And I know this is relatable, very much so. And it's because the other individual thinks that this one can see my pain. Do you understand? So that is why we go into survival mode. We become aggressive because I don't want you to see my pain. Most of the fights start like that, even in the everyday life, as we know it. So it starts with the smallest things, but it's because we haven't healed. So we think that people can see how pain and how hurt we are. So that's what therapy can do to help, if needs be. But then, again, in the community of our Black African people, we do not advocate for such. And it kills, it very much kills, because in the long term, it kills a nation, a generation of kids, So what I would urge you as an individual is that you go to therapy if you can, and if you can't, I would say smoke weed, but hey, not everyone smokes weed, right? So if you cannot go to therapy, find something that really unravels, the inner you, that relaxes your mind. It could be a song, it could be anything, because trust me, like it's a miracle that you are here. It wasn't just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and then we're here. No, it took a lot. So every time I see Black people who are angry, I get worried. because they hold a generation. A black man holds a generation in him, right? And a black lady is going to lead a generation as well. So when I see black angry faces, I don't like that. It's not viable. But I do understand where it stems from again. So it is what it is. So to liberate yourself, honestly speaking, I think find your talent. Find your talent. Know what you are here for in this world. Because when you were born, right? When you were born, your hands were closed. Just in case you couldn't see, obviously you did. But your hands were closed, meaning that you were born in this world with a gift. And that gift you have to share it to others, or you have to share it to the world, because you need people to give it to. That's why you were born with your hands closed. So don't sleep around thinking, okay, I'm not here to do anything, I'm just here to be myself. No, because then what happens is that people look at other people with gifts that are trying to express their gifts, like for example, musicians, and then they be like, oh no, because he did that, and now he's rich and he's famous. But here's the thing though, the goal is not to be rich and famous when we're doing this arts thing, right? The goal is not to be rich and famous. The goal is to use your God-given talent and live your life through that. You see? Because until everyone is free to do whatever they want to do, no one is free. You understand? Nobody is free. So find your talent, and then you can be able to live your life through that. And who knows, you too might just be the biggest musician to come out of, anywhere, nowhere, nowhere's land, no man's land, things like that. And trust me, when we move that way, everything will be free. Because you look at the likes of these, celebs and everybody, and they seem so relaxed, so free, like they're freed. And it's not because they have the money and because they have the lifestyle, that counts, but it is because now they are at a position where they never thought they would be, using their talent. You understand? They didn't need to work 10 years to reach that level. They might have in the practice, but I'm talking about in terms of sweat, blood, like everyday hustles. Because when you're talented, it's not every day that you go into the studio and say, hey, let me record a song. Some days you feel like, hey, let me just chill, I'll record it tomorrow. So using that pattern, it got them that far. And it's like, wow, God really put me on this earth to do this. And that is why we have the likes of celebs, your Kanye Wests, all those people, crazy stuff, you know what I'm saying? So most importantly, that it is free yourself, free yourself, find yourself, and then everything shall flow. Because honestly speaking, it starts with you and it ends with you. I always emphasize on this, you understand? And like in the black community, I think through therapy and through understanding, because I always say knowledge is power, but understanding is everything, right? So when you understand everything, you understand that, okay, love and compassion are the two elements in life that actually keep us going. Just in case you do not know. Because unlike money, right? I cannot put love in your hand. Do you understand? I can't put compassion. I say, here's compassion in your hand, take baby. I can't. To a child, for example, you understand? You can't give, if they say if you can't explain what you do to a small child and he can then tell his friend, then you don't know what you're doing. So if I can't give compassion and love to a child's hand, if I can say, here it is, then there is no such thing. You understand? So unlike money that you can give and put into a child's hand, compassion, you cannot do that. You have to show it. It's a verb, it's a doing word. You have to do it. Do you understand? So show love, because I was listening to Dave Santan, his recent album called We Are All Alone in This Together, right? It's basically his newest album that came out, and I like the song Both Sides of a Smile with James Blake. And he says the money can't buy nothing when the love's done. Do you understand? All the money in the world cannot buy love, right? I mean, we know we always say this every time, but all the money in the world, I cannot love you the same way because you are paying me to love you, whereas I can love you naturally. That is why you have Bonnie and Clyde, Romeo and Juliet, because they love each other way before the money. See? And it just goes to show that love actually is the one that's going to beat everything up. Like, if you show love to the next person, that next person is going to show love to the other person, and everything becomes positive. You understand? Then we don't need to actually, like, there was a fact that if the whole world smoked a joint for like, if the whole world smoked a joint at the same time, there'll be peace for 3 hours. Then we don't all have to smoke joints. We just need to show each other love. You understand? Love and compassion. Because, hey, man, money gets printed every day, but love runs out. If your friend dies today, or your girlfriend dies today, or your boyfriend rather, right? And you used to love him, all the money in the world is not going to bring him back. That love that he gave you or she gave you, you're not going to experience it again, even if they left you with $1 million. You understand? So always show love and compassion, because, hey, man, we all we got at the end of the day. You understand? So yeah, I was at a creatives meeting like the other day, a couple weeks back, and basically we spoke about our art, basically like how our art is affected when we give it out there to the people. Someone mentioned that they feel as if they're not doing enough, and what I think is that, like, people pay attention to detail differently. You understand? We're not all the same. I can show you a piece of wood right now, right? And I say, look at that. You might see a log, right? I might see just a piece of wood. But understand this, a wood and a log is more or less the same thing. But the person saying that the wood is log is coming from America. And me saying wood is wood, I'm coming from South Africa. So it's just perspective. That is it. People pay attention to detail differently. That means that no one is actually wrong. No one, it's just a reference point. You coming from this angle, and then you want to say that about this certain thing. I might not agree with it. I might not, but it's your point of view. So no one is basically wrong. So that even goes for anything that you do to everyone. Like, if you decide now I'm going to go buy myself a pair of pink denim jacket, or a pair of furry blue shoes, and then someone's going to judge you and say, oh my gosh, you're wearing furry, you gay. No, if that's what they think, let them think that. That's their opinion. Don't be hindered by that, And that is that's exactly what is stopping us from moving forward, because we take other people's point of views, right, or paying attention to detail, and we use that to direct our narrative, our way of looking at things. And especially with, it's very sensitive with the art, because art is very sensitive. Just so like, people who do music, so forth, trust me, they're very sensitive about their stuff. So if someone decides to critique it, and then you feel, okay, no, I'm not doing the right thing, then you're on the wrong path. Clearly, you don't want this. You don't want this for the long run. With whatever you're doing. Someone says you're gay for wearing blue furry shoes, let it be. As long as you like those shoes, go ahead with it. Nothing gives at all. You understand? So we need to change the narrative as Black people. Like, we need to come out more. We need to be more proud of ourselves, because, like, we are miracles. As I said, like, we are miracles coming out here. Your hair grows different, guys. Your hair actually grows against gravity. You understand? That is why when you see waves, I like waves, by the way. When you Google waves on the internet, it's just Black niggas pulling up with waves, things like that. So, and speaking of niggas, actually, in America, right, when the word nigger was now made legal, or illegal rather, my bad, right, there was no Black person in the room to decipher with that. So basically, it goes to show that we were not even told when we were free. Do you understand? That is most in cases why Black Americans are always deemed wild and loud and ratchet, because it's like they didn't know. Oh, okay, I can speak louder now. Oh, okay, I think I can speak loud, and no one's gonna tell me shit. That's exactly what happened. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, in the American point of view, that's exactly how it went down. So you Black, as I said, you're amazing, beautiful. Show it. Feel it more. Like, I know girls that got like dreads, and that's like, wow. Or people rather. Besides, because girls, girls, Black girls are top of the world. But yeah, anyway, yeah, like, people with dreads, like, that's crazy. How's your hair growing like that? Not the regular people can do that, And if you too want, listening to this, you also can grow your hair into dreads if you go through the right processes, right? So, in general, just live the life that you're supposed to be living. Do the most, and understand that everything happens for a reason. So please make sure that you like, subscribe, share, post, link, everything, and stay tuned for the next episode. This was No Face, No Case with Victor. Bye.